podium, head men's water polo coach, Steve Doughton.
Thank you, fellas. All right, I was told to keep this short because we're behind schedule a little bit.
Yeah!
So I'll try to sum it up, and hopefully everybody in this room. First, I must say thank you to all of you, right? And how amazing you are. So everybody has spoken in front of you today. I hope you can tell how much they care about you, right? It's an amazing group of people to work with. So this is only my second year here, and Jeff's been 20 years, and I can't go into all the Emily and whatnot. I've been so very impressed by all the people that I've come to learn, to know and learn from. And it takes a lot of work to put this on. So you're athletes, they're ex-athletes. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scene, right? And another thing I like about this group is how much we use the word team and leadership here. And I hope you all in this room know, right? You probably have the best athletic director in the conference in Karen Yoder. I can't tell you how much she outworks all of us. But you want to tell us how much someone cares? I think she works 7 days a week, every month. I basically don't even know how she does it. And all these other coaches, you can say the same thing about them as well. So, in my short time here, I've seen huge changes, strides, right? So my seniors were having banquets when you were freshmen. So it's all incredibly positive. And to hear Mike talk about his team and where it's going, a lot of respect to you. You're the ones that are doing it every day. And I hear somebody can't come here because of watch, or I hear someone's got to work, or I know we've got coasties or mates or things coming up. So a lot of respect goes out to all of you, and a lot of appreciation. And Karen, I hope you know that in terms of leadership's hard. A lot of time you're not recognized by it. I'm the leader of the water polo team. I know sometimes you have to, coach hard, I'll call it. But that's how you make things better. How do we get young people to improve? So Karen, hopefully you recognize that. What a tremendous job you're all doing. I'm privileged to be a part of the group. So with that said, our season, we lost our first 2 games, right? First day of the season, we lost our first 2 games. It was a pretty rough start. And from that point, we climbed back into it and got to the championship game in the conference championships. And so that's not an easy thing to do, right? We were seeded 4th going into the tournament. We had to upseat the number 1 team to basically take on the number 1 team. And of those 4 losses, we really only lost the 2 teams. The 1 team 3 times. So my hats go off, right? Is that right? We lost to 2 teams? Yeah. And one was in overtime. So I can't tell you, like a group of guys to work with to kind of overcome, like it didn't start off easy, right? And they didn't want to lose. They don't like losing. And to play the tournament and have to go the hard way around to get the championship game. So hats off, right? I'm very proud of this group of guys, what they accomplished this season, and could have gone a different way. So guys on the team, thank you very much for hard work and sticking with it and doing everything that you do. Okay, so 4 awards. I guess another thing to know about me is it's all about the team. It's hard to recognize individual players when you talk about the team, right? On our team, we talk about who's the best player. The guy who makes the best play, right? Our MVP basically is the guy who makes everybody better, right? So that's not goals scored. It's not necessarily seen in statistics. And so for me, it's leadership. And one thing I love about Cal Maritime is, this leadership laboratory, right? We see it across campus. I see it on other teams. And when I frame the few that I want to recognize, it's because of their leadership qualities. And they basically make the team better, right? So the first award is kind of a young leader award, if you want to call it that way. So I called it the most outstanding teammate award. So this person embodied thinking about his teammates before thinking about himself. And it's the first time I've ever seen it, and it just kind of blew my mind. I thought it was pretty cool. So we have goalies are really important, like in soccer, right? Can you have a soccer practice without a goalie? Is it as fun? It's not quite as fun, right?
Not nearly.
Right. So, and our goalie is a freshman, and he's doing ROTC and all kinds of things that we do here. So one of his teammates offered to stand and watch for him so he could come to practice. So he took an extra watch, which I thought, wow, I didn't ask, I didn't know about it. I'm like, hey, where were you? He goes, well, I had to go stand and watch so he could come to practice. And he plays water polo the same way, right? He's our center defender, and it's the most thankless job, right? He might have got majored in more games than anybody, but he's tasked with guarding the biggest, strongest guy in front of the cage, right? So Ronaldo or whatever, Messi or Shaq, whatever, he's got to guard that guy. And he does it without ever complaining or I got that guy, I want to do that, coach, right? And so just really impressive, outstanding teammate award goes to Ian Healy. So our next award, so Ian's already shown his leadership qualities, he's making the team better, and hopefully see you continue that on that path. So this next leadership award, the Key Hauler Leadership Award. So, right, it takes a village. I can't be a one-man show, right? I don't have an assistant coach. So there's a couple of players on the team who take on these roles to help the team be better, to help the program be better, to help their teammates be better. And, a lot of times, I don't have to ask. They come to me. And this one leader does all these things outside the pool that helps me. And basically, I couldn't run the program without that kind of help. And we host the tournaments, and so it's usually 8, 10, 12 games a day. And the guys love that because they work the tournament with me all weekend. And so it means coming early to get everything set up and staying late to get everything broken down. And I remember this one time, I go out to the pool, and I think there's a homeless person sleeping in front of the gate. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Well, Aaron Cameron had got there before anybody, and he didn't have to be there. Yeah, no offense, but I walked out, I'm like, I'm usually the first one on the pool deck, and he beat me to there to set up for this long day. And I was like, wow, didn't have to be there. So, the outstanding leadership or Key Hauler Leadership Award goes to Aaron Cameron. See that? I need a lot of help. So yeah, Aaron, thank you. He had that voice to come by my office or talking about things away from the pool deck is, a great sign of leadership, right? These gentlemen show they care. Like when I talk about Karen, you can tell she cares, right? She doesn't sleep. You get emails from all of it because she cares. She's in it 24/7. And that's the kind of person Aaron Cameron is well. Okay, this last is our Coaches Award. And so this individual showed leadership, but from more inside the pool, right? Would take on task for the program, again, to make everybody else better, right? And largely, it had to do around fitness and conditioning and in the water drills and skills and stuff. Because he's probably the most, he's the most fit person on the team. People love doing his workouts because he would just crush everybody. And it made it easy for me because no one said, hey Steve, I don't want to swim that far. I'm like, well, talk to Spencer, it's his swim set. And so, Spencer, I want to thank you. So our coach's award goes to Spencer Powley for his outstanding leadership in the pool and out of the pool like a coach. Thank you, Spencer. So hopefully, like the freshman on the soccer team or whoever, when you think about most valuable player, you think about it from a leader construct and what can you do for the team? Because we have the highest goal scorer and other stats that we follow, who for sure are outstanding athletes. But at Cal Maritime and this leadership laboratory, I hope that you'll kind of think about that in the future to contribute to these wonderful coaches that are doing all these things for you. So I guess lastly, it's just our 4-year varsity letter winners and our seniors. So let's have them, you met them all, or I guess you didn't meet them all, but we'll introduce them. So Spencer, stand up, Aaron, stand up, and the two that you haven't met, Levi DeVries, and then Jake Douglas. And so you know, attackers, utility, center defenders, we're losing a lot in this group positionally, which I guess makes me worried a little bit.